Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the Daily Huddle, your motivation playbook with me, Life Coach Franzani. All week long, we're talking about relationships and how they relate to our motivation. The last few days, we've been breaking down the who, what, where, when, why, and how to keep our relationships motivating and serving us through communication. And today, we're finishing with the who, what, where, and how when it comes to communication. So first, who do you communicate with to make sure your relationships will push forward in the direction of your dreams? Well, firstly, every person you're in relation with. I know this is uncomfortable, but you need to set expectations and boundaries or you'll never be satisfied, let alone motivated by your relationships. And secondly, you need to communicate directly. No messengers, no moms, no coworkers, no children, or otherwise. You need to communicate directly with the person that you are in a relationship with. Next, where to communicate. So this is similar to the when. Be intentional about the setting for yourself and the person you are communicating with. Honestly, all of communication usually you have something you want to share. And all of these elements matter in making sure that you and the person that you are in relationship with understand where you're coming from. And that you can say, hi, this is the thing that I'm upset about or I need to talk to you about. And you and I need to figure out how we can go to that thing versus us against each other. So something as simple as where you're communicating and considering your surroundings, who's around you, are there distractions? Is this place conducive to what you want to talk about? All of these little things are so important. And finally, how to communicate. So if you're not used to communicating as a practice and doing it regularly, be forewarned that this is going to suck. And I will say that, but we're all communicating in some way, shape, or form. But if you're not used to intentional communication, if you're not through thinking about what you want to say and how to say it and all these pieces, it's uncomfortable. It really requires a ton of self-awareness. I'm confrontational. I communicate ad nauseum, and it's still uncomfortable for me. There's no cookie cutter formula, one size fits all, but the key to how is practicing self-awareness. And from a space of self-awareness, you need to, 1, communicate authentically, be honest about what you're feeling and what you need. And this requires you to take stock of how you're feeling and why. What are your triggers? What's going on? Second, be honest. Taking time to understand how you feel helps you mean what you say. And a side note here, honesty does not mean saying what you feel exactly when you feel it. Our knee-jerk reaction is usually our fear reaction. The truth lies beneath. Third, take accountability. Relationships are two-way streets. Don't blame and point fingers. Talk about what they did that made you feel a certain type of way, rather than the toxic, you make me this and you make me that. No one can make you anything. Not even your mom, not even your dad. Take responsibility for your triggers and actions. Just because you have good reason to react the way you may have, and it might have seemed unfavorable, but you had a good reason, it doesn't excuse your actions. And finally, practice. Words matter. Words matter. So when you can, spend more time than not preparing. And some ways to prep are role play and get feedback from coworkers, mentors, friends, family. And I do mean this for intimate relationships as well. I don't believe in that whole don't tell anyone or don't air your dirty laundry, blah, 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 keep all of your business to yourself. No. Ask people who have you and your partner's best interest at heart in all situations. You want to make sure that the person you're speaking to has your best interest at heart, and that means sometimes telling you hard things, but getting feedback and role playing about something that's important is absolutely important to do with your partner as well, especially if it's a tough conversation. If this feels like a lot when it comes to communication and the who, what, where, when, why, and how, what I have to say to you is good. Communicating in relationships is challenging in general. Communicating with intention and to make sure your relationships are serving you and motivating you to live the life that makes you happy and fulfilled requires you to level up. Take heart though, it does get easier with practice. And really, it gets easier because being honest about who you are and what you need is addicting. And it's addicting because the outcomes of those relationships are soulmate connections. Even when you don't really like someone or connect with them or didn't vibe with them, taking these principles and communicating in this way and making sure your relationships are motivating, even the ones that you're not super excited about, create soulmate connections from your personal life to your professional life. You will have so much more respect for that person that you don't like or appreciate if you take the time to intentionally communicate with them and make sure that you're both getting what you need out of your relationship. So thank you so much for watching the Thursday Huddle with me, Life Coach Franzani. Every week I pick a theme and every day we huddle around a topic so we can create our own playbook for motivation. Intentional ways to stay connected to our goals and show up at our best every day. I'll see you here tomorrow to finish our conversation on relationships. Give yourself an amazing day.